Now, I've been trying to make this type of response for a while now, or this type of video for a while now. I don't know, I just haven't been really gotten up to it. I've been trying to do most of my playthroughs, but this is in response to the Ghost of Yote developer. And before anything, let me just go ahead and let me show you what it's about.
Sony executives are going after fans of Ghost of Tsushima for not liking a female protagonist.
Listen, big fella, I'ma keep chefing y'all up until you give it up. When a dog shits in the house, you rub his nose in it to teach him that he did a bad thing. Eventually, the dog's gonna learn.
This Sony executive literally said, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Now, this Sony executive went ahead and responded like that in regards to the Ghost of Yote game, and you know what, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in it. I absolutely agree with that comment. If you don't like the game, don't buy it, or possibly go make another game that suits you. Now, a lot of people hate that response, but it's a reasonable response. Most of the time, when you want to vote to pay for a game, or vote to set up for a game, for instance, or even go to a point where making a game successful, you vote with your wallets. And a lot of people have been defending Ghost of Yote because Sucker Punch has a long track record of very good games, has a wonderful track record. And the issue is with a lot of people don't want to go ahead and play as a female protagonist, saying that it's woke and DEI because it's a female protagonist, which is probably the most idiotic thing I have ever heard in my life. And with that includes, you know, people like Asmongold, and I don't understand why we have to listen to Asmongold at all in any type of like position at all. But this is what he usually would have to say about, you know, the actual trailer for the game.
Okay. Do I have to play as a girl? Can I play as a guy?
No, you cannot, Asmongold. You cannot play as a male. This game is 300 years after Jin Sakai and is a brand new character. This is something fresh for people to go in. And the reason why I believe it's something fresh is because you could go ahead and play games like Ghost of Tsushima and possibly play Ghost of Yote without even having to play the prior game. You could be brand new to it unless you are an extremely big fan of the series. It's just like Final Fantasy. You don't have to play Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 to enjoy 4, or you don't have to play 8 and 9 to go to 10, stuff like that. But my issue with Asmongold is just that he says that he will not play a game if it has a female protagonist, which in my opinion is one of the most close-minded ideas or ideals as a human being or as a gamer. With having that ideal as a gamer, you are having an issue with, you know, a female protagonist, which means you are closing yourself off to amazing games such as Control, things like Metroid, things like Senua's Blade, things like in regards to like even sometimes horror games, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, or even regards to like classical games such as Dino Crisis or even Parasite Eve. It's very, very weird for people to go ahead and lock themselves out of gaming because there is an absolute idea of having a female protagonist, and that doesn't mean it's woke or DEI. It's fucking weird that people come up with that idea. There are many games that have, like, you know, people with multiple pronouns, have people with like different, like, you know, genders, from having male to female protagonists and so on and so forth, that are actually really, really good. But the issue that I have with Asmongold is just that I won't take his actual, you know, his criticism seriously. The fact that you literally get to a point and say, oh, I won't play a game because it has a female in it, you are closed-minded to the amazing games that are out there. And you're closed-minded to the idea that there are great characters out there in video games that are female, or in general as a whole. Secondly, I won't take advice from a guy who doesn't know how to clean his own fucking room. That's kind of ridiculous for the fact that you're probably like a 30 or 40-year-old man who don't know how to clean his fucking room. You literally have to learn how to clean your fucking room. It's weird to a point where it's like, okay, you have a lot of work to do. Maybe the room's a little bit dirty here and there. Like, you can have stuff all around. Like for me, like I have like my snacks all in the back right there when I'm eating something, instead of just having to go into the kitchen to grab it. It goes right there. I put them right there. I just grab a little snack right there while I'm drinking water, or I'm drinking soda or something like that. That's understandable. But when you have like a dirty room that is so bad that looks like you like throw all over everything, sometimes there will be bugs all over the place, and you're a grown man talking about that's weird. That's extremely weird. Now, it could come out to a point where it's a mental thing. I understand that, where sometimes mentally you can't get off your ass to be able to do so, you not want to do so, but there's going to be a time where it really gets to a point where it's so bad you're going to have to do something about it. But when it comes to things like people complaining about, you know, the comments from the devs, like, oh, you know, if you don't like it, don't buy it. I think that comment needs to be said a lot more for more gamers nowadays, because gamers have a tendency of being really ignorant on stuff they don't know about. Claiming things are woke and DEI, claiming things are negative because Sweet Baby Inc., when Sweet Baby Inc. actually had roles in many of games such as God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, and many other titles that are actually very successful. Now it's just very, very extreme that people just don't know what they're talking about, like in the gaming community, and sometimes you gotta get a clap back. You gotta get a clap back from the devs, and you gotta swallow it. And then some of you guys are gonna be like, oh well, I'm not gonna buy the game. Okay, that is your perfect right. But when a gaming company goes down and titles go down and titles don't work out the way you want it, where a lot of you people have asked for like remakes of certain games or certain titles, and they can't do it because the company's going down, you can't complain about it. That's just how it is. But yep, that's just my response to it. I think as Asmongold needs to go ahead and open up his I would say his avenue for other titles and not be very close-minded to that idea. I think he needs to go ahead and learn to be a little more, how may I say a little bit more less ignorant when it comes to his taste on that, because I think that's an ignorant taste. Just not to play a game because it has a female in it. That's ridiculous. You're missing out on so many games. But otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna say exactly when it comes to Ghost of Yotei, if you don't like it, then don't buy it. Sorry, not sorry.